September 14th, 2022. Marion County, Iowa. Auction day. By 9 a.m., the gravel lot is packed. Trucks lined 3 deep along the fence. Dealers standing near the equipment with notebooks. Farmers walking the rows, kicking tires, opening cab doors, taking photos of hour meters. This isn't a retirement sale. This is a dispersal. Total liquidation. The kind of auction that pulls a crowd because everyone knows something went wrong. The equipment is clean, well-maintained. Nothing is rusted out or beaten down. But it's all going. Tractors, planter, grain cart, shop tools, and 2 combines sitting side by side in the back corner of the lot, both facing the road. 2 Class 8 machines, both 2017 models, both still young by modern standards. On the left, a New Holland CR 10.90, 790 horsepower, twin-rotor design, factory precision land management package, 1,850 engine hours showing on the display. On the right, a John Deere S790, 542 horsepower, single rotor, active yield system, 680 engine hours, same year, same generation, same owner, same fields. But the story those 2 machines tell is not the same at all. By 10:30, the crowd has already made its decision. You can see it in where people are standing. The New Holland has 15 guys around it, notebooks out, phones up, dealers whispering to clients. The Deere has maybe 6, and half of them are just looking at the hour meter, then walking away shaking their heads. The auctioneer hasn't even started yet, and the outcome is already written. This is the story of 2 combines, 2 brands, 2 maintenance files, and one very public moment where reliability became the only number that mattered. The farm that owned these machines ran 3,200 acres, corn and soybeans, flat ground, productive soil, good yields, the kind of operation that should have been bulletproof. The owner bought both combines new in early 2017, ordered them in January, took delivery in July, paid cash for the Deere, financed the New Holland through the dealer at 3.9% over 5 years. Why 2 combines? Because he was tired of renting, tired of waiting on neighbors, tired of racing weather and losing. He wanted redundancy. He wanted speed. He wanted to run 2 machines in the same field and finish corn in under a week. The Deere was the primary machine. That was the plan. The S790 was supposed to be the workhorse, the one that ran the long days, the one that handled the heavy yields, the one that set the standard. The New Holland was the backup, the insurance policy, the machine that would step in if weather got tight or if the Deere needed service. It was supposed to sit more than it ran. That's not what happened. By the end of the first season, the roles had already flipped. First season, 2017. Harvest started the last week of September. Corn moisture was sitting at 18%. Weather looked stable for 10 days. The owner fired up both machines and put them in the same 160-acre field, working opposite directions. For the first 2 days, everything ran smooth. Both combines moving, both unloading on the go, both keeping pace. Then on day 3, the Deere started having rotor slugging issues. The crop wasn't heavy, moisture wasn't high, but the machine kept bogging. The rotor would load up, lose speed, and kick a slug warning. The operator would back out, clear it, and get moving again. Then 20 minutes later, it would happen again. They called the dealer. Technician came out that afternoon, checked rotor clearance, checked concave settings, checked belt tension. Everything looked fine. He recalibrated the system and said to keep running. It slugged again an hour later. They switched the Deere to a lighter section. Let the New Holland take the heavier ground. The CR 10.90 ran clean. No slugging, no warnings, just steady, even power through 220 bushel corn. By the end of week 1, the New Holland had run 62 hours. The Deere had run 41. Week 2, the Deere developed a hydraulic leak in the header lift circuit. Not a major failure, just a blown seal. But it cost half a day waiting on the dealer to bring the part and install it. The New Holland kept running. By the time corn was done, the CR 10.90 had logged 198 hours. The S790 had logged 151. The backup machine had become the lead. The owner didn't panic. Not yet. First-year bugs happen. New machines shake out. Deere's a solid brand. Everyone knows that. The S790 is one of the most popular combines in North America. It's not like he bought a lemon, so he chalked it up to bad luck and moved into soybeans. That's when the real problem started. Second season, 2018, spring 2018. The Deere went in for its first scheduled service and 50-hour inspection, oil change, filter swap. Dealer did a full systems check. Everything came back clean, no codes, no red flags. Machine was cleared to run. Corn planting went fine. Summer was hot and dry. Yields were projected strong. By late September, the owner was gearing up for another double combine push. He started the Deere first. Let it run for 20 minutes to warm up. Drove it to the field. Dropped the header. Made it 30 minutes before the feeder house cracked. Not a small crack. A structural failure. The entire lower frame split along the weld seam. The header sagged. The chain went slack. The whole front end of the machine had to be lifted and transported back to the shop on a lowboy. Dealer said it was a known issue, a bad batch of welds from the factory. Deere had issued a service bulletin. The repair was covered under warranty, but the part was on back order. Estimated wait time 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Corn was at 16% moisture. Weather window was open, and the primary machine was down. The owner put the New Holland in the field and started running 12-hour days. The CR 10.90 handled it. No slugging, no hydraulic leaks, no cracks, just clean, consistent performance, day after day. By the time the Deere came back, the New Holland had logged another 240 hours. The repair took 4 days. The Deere ran for 60 hours, then the rotor began making noise. Grinding, rattling, something loose inside the cage. They pulled the rotor, found 2 broken rasp bars, not worn down, broken, fractured at the mounting point. The dealer replaced them under warranty and said it was probably a material defect. The owner asked how often this happens. The dealer said it's not common, but it's not unheard of. That's not the answer you want to hear when you're 800 hours into a $485,000 machine. By the end of 2018, the New Holland had logged 511 total hours. The Deere had logged 298, and the maintenance file on the S790 was already thicker than the operator's manual. The owner started talking to neighbors, quietly, not complaining, just asking questions. Have you had any rotor issues? Any slugging? Any hydraulic leaks? Most guys said no. A few said yeah, minor stuff, but nothing major. One guy said his S-Series had been bulletproof for 3 years, so the owner kept running it. Maybe it was bad luck. Maybe the worst was over. It wasn't. Third season, 2019. By spring 2019, the financial picture had shifted. Commodity prices were down. Input costs were up. The owner was still profitable, but margins were tighter. He couldn't afford major downtime, couldn't afford to miss weather windows, couldn't afford another 3-week parts delay. He made a decision. The New Holland would be the primary machine. The Deere would be the backup. Harvest started strong. The CR 1090 ran the heavy corn. The S790 handled beans and lighter ground. For the first week, both machines performed. No breakdowns, no failures. Then in early October, the Deere's cleaning fan motor failed. Total failure. The motor seized. The fan stopped. Grain quality went to hell. The machine had to be shut down and towed back to the yard. The dealer said the motor was covered under warranty, but the part was on back order. Again, estimated wait time, 10 days. The owner didn't wait. He pulled the Deere off the schedule and ran the New Holland exclusively, 18-hour days. The CR 1090 handled it, 790 horsepower, twin rotors. The machine was built for this. By the time the Deere was back online, the New Holland had logged another 310 hours. The S790 ran for 42 hours, then threw a hydraulic fault code. The dealer cleared it. 2 days later, it came back. The owner was done. He parked the Deere in the shed and finished the season with the New Holland. The CR 1090 logged 403 hours that fall. The S790 logged 87. Total hours by the end of 2019. New Holland CR 10, 14 hours. John Deere S790, 385 hours. The backup had become the only machine he trusted. By now, the dealer knew there was a problem. They offered to do a full diagnostic. No charge. Bring the Deere in, let the technicians go through it, find out what's going on. The owner agreed. The machine spent 2 weeks in the shop. They pulled codes, checked harnesses, tested sensors, inspected the rotor, inspected the feeder house, inspected the cleaning system. The report came back clean. No active faults, no pending failures. The machine was mechanically sound, but the maintenance file told a different story. 5 warranty claims, 3 parts delays, 2 structural repairs, and a pattern of small failures that kept adding up. The owner asked the dealer a simple question: if this was your farm, would you trust this machine? The dealer didn't answer right away. That was the answer. Fourth season, 2020, spring 2020. The world was upside down. Pandemic, lockdowns, supply chain chaos. Parts delays that used to be 3 weeks were now 6. Technicians were harder to schedule. Everything moved slower. The owner made a decision. He wasn't going to rely on the Deere anymore. He ran the New Holland as his solo machine, dialed back his acres slightly, hired a custom operator to help with beans, kept the S790 parked as a parts reserve in case the CR needed something. The New Holland ran 520 hours that season, 0 breakdowns, 1 scheduled service, 1 oil change, 1 set of belts. The Deere sat in the shed, untouched. By the end of 2020, New Holland CR 1090, 1,434 hours. John Deere S790, 385 hours. The gap was now over 1,000 hours, and the Deere hadn't moved in a year. Farmers talk. Especially in a county like Marion. Everyone knows who's running what, who's breaking down, who's finishing on time, who's calling the dealer twice a week. Word got around that the owner had parked a $485,000 combine after 3 seasons. People asked why. He didn't badmouth the brand, didn't trash the dealer, just said it wasn't working out. Said he didn't trust it anymore. That's a hard thing to admit when you paid cash for a machine. But it's harder to keep running something that costs you time, money, and sleep every fall. 5th season, 2021. The owner ran the New Holland exclusively again, 416 hours that season. Still no major failures, just routine maintenance. Belts, filters, grease. The CR 10.90 crossed 1,850 engine hours in October 2021. Still under the extended warranty he'd bought at purchase. Still running clean. Still making him money. The Deere sat in the shed with 680 hours on the meter, covered in dust, header sitting beside it, tires still holding air. He thought about selling it, thought about trading it in, but the dealer's offer was brutal. $240,000, half what he paid. The dealer said the service history made it a hard sell, so he kept it. Thought maybe he'd use it as a backup again someday. Thought maybe the problems were behind it, but he never started it. The collapse. In early 2022, commodity prices spiked, land rents went up, input costs exploded, the owner's margins disappeared. He was still farming, still profitable on paper. But cash flow was tight, equipment payments were piling up. And he had 2 combines, one he used, one he didn't. By summer, the bank started asking questions. They wanted to see the balance sheet, wanted to see the equipment valuations. Wanted to know why he had $700,000 in combine equity sitting in the shed when one machine hadn't run in 2 years. The bank didn't force the sale, but they made it clear. Either refinance or liquidate. He chose liquidate. Auction day, September 14th, 2022. The combines are staged side by side in the back of the lot, both cleaned, both detailed, both looking showroom ready, but the crowd already knows. The New Holland has a clean maintenance file, one owner, 1,850 hours, extended warranty still active, no major repairs, no structural failures, no chronic issues. The Deere has 680 hours, 5 warranty claims, a cracked feeder house, a replaced rotor, a failed cleaning fan motor, and a service file that tells the whole story. The auctioneer starts with the small equipment, planter, grain cart, tillage tools, buyers are active, prices are decent. Then he moves to the combines. He starts with the Deere, 2017 John Deere S790, 542 horsepower, 680 engine hours, single owner, well-maintained, includes the 640 FD Draper header. We're going to start the bidding at $200,000. Silence. $200,000. Do I hear $200,000? Nothing. All right, $180,000 to get us started. A hand goes up in the back. A dealer. Low-risk bid, flipping potential. $180,000. Now $190,000, $190,000. Another hand, another dealer. The bidding moves slow. $190,000, $200,000, $210,000. It stalls at $225,000. The auctioneer works the crowd, pushes for $230,000, gets it, pushes for $240,000, gets it, stalls at $250,000, $250,000 once, $250,000 twice. A farmer near the front raises his hand. $255,000. $255,000, now $260,000. No response. $255,000 once, twice. Sold. $255,000. The Deere goes to a salvage buyer. He's not farming it, he's parting it out. Next up, the New Holland. 2017 New Holland CR 10.90, 790 horsepower, 1,850 engine hours, twin rotor system, precision land management package, extended warranty active through 2024, same owner, includes the 640 FD Draper header. We're starting at $250,000. Three hands go up immediately. $250,000, now $260,000, $270,000, $280,000. Keep it moving, folks. $290,000. The bidding is fast, competitive, farmers and dealers both. Everyone wants it. $300,000, now $310,000. Two bidders left, a farmer from the next county, a dealer from Nebraska. Now $320,000. The farmer shakes his head. Out. $310,000 once, twice. Sold. $310,000 to the gentleman from Nebraska. The New Holland sells for $55,000 more than the Deere, with 1,170 more hours on the meter. The auctioneer doesn't explain it. The crowd doesn't need him to. They already understand. The dealer who bought the New Holland loads it on a trailer that afternoon. He's taking it back to his lot in Nebraska. He'll service it, detail it, run it through his shop, and he'll sell it for $340,000 within 30 days. The salvage buyer who bought the Deere hauls it back to his yard in Missouri. He lists the rotor on eBay. The feeder house goes to a repair shop in Kansas. The header sells separately. The rest gets parted out over 6 months. Two machines, same year, same lot, same auction. One ran 1,850 hours and sold as a dependable workhorse. The other ran 680 hours and got stripped for parts. That's not bad luck. That's not coincidence. That's the difference between a machine that works and a machine that doesn't. The numbers. Let's break it down. The owner paid $425,000 for the New Holland CR 10.90 in 2017. He financed it at 3.9% over 5 years. Total cost after interest, $449,680. He paid $485,000 cash for the John Deere S790. The New Holland ran 1,850 hours over 5 seasons. It logged 914 hours in the first 3 years. It logged another 136 hours in the last 2. It had 0 major repairs outside of routine maintenance. Belts cost $1,800. Filters cost $950. Oil changes cost $420 per service. Total maintenance cost over 5 years, approximately $8,004. The Deere ran 680 hours over 3 seasons. It had 5 warranty claims: a cracked feeder house, a replaced rotor, a failed cleaning fan motor, 2 hydraulic seal replacements. Parts were covered under warranty, but labor wasn't always free. Dealer service calls added up. Total maintenance and downtime cost over 3 years, approximately $14,200. Cost per hour: New Holland CR 1090, $449,680 and 850 hours equals $243 per hour. John Deere S790, $485,680 hours, $730 per hour. The Deere cost nearly 3 times as much per hour to own, and that's before you factor in the resale. The New Holland sold for $310,000 after 1,850 hours. Depreciation, $139,680. That's 31% over 5 years. The Deere sold for $255,000 after 680 hours. Depreciation, $230,000. That's 47% over 3 years. The owner lost $90,320 more on the Deere than the New Holland, and the Deere ran 1,170 fewer hours. That's not subjective. That's math. Here's the part that stings. The owner didn't buy the Deere because he was cheap. He didn't buy it because it was discounted. He bought it because he trusted the brand, because his neighbors ran green, because Deere has the reputation, the market share, the dealer network. He bought the New Holland because he needed a backup, because the dealer offered a good finance rate, because it was there, and the backup became the only machine he could count on. That's not how it was supposed to go. But that's how it went, why it happened. Let's talk about why the New Holland ran 1,850 hours and the Deere didn't make it to 700. It's not about brand loyalty. It's not about marketing. It's about engineering. The CR1090 uses a twin rotor system. two rotors running parallel. That means the crop load is split. Each rotor handles half the volume. Less strain per rotor, less wear, less chance of slugging or overload. The S790 uses a single rotor. One rotor, all the crop, all the time. When the crop is heavy, the rotor works harder. When the crop is tough, the rotor takes the hit. There's no backup, no split load, just one system doing all the work. That's not a flaw, that's a design choice. Single rotor systems are lighter, more compact, easier to service, but they're also more vulnerable to overload, especially in high-yield conditions. The CR1090 also uses a more aggressive crop flow system. Wider feeder house, larger throat, faster chain speed. That means less restriction at the front end, less chance of plugging, less chance of feeder house stress. The S790 uses a narrower feeder house with a tighter throat angle. It's designed for smooth feeding in ideal conditions. But when conditions aren't ideal, when the crop is down or tangled or over-mature, that narrow throat becomes a choke point. And then there's horsepower. The CR10.90 has 790 horsepower. The S790 has 542 horsepower. That's a 248 horsepower gap. More horsepower doesn't just mean more speed. It means more reserve, more capacity to handle tough crop without slowing down, more ability to maintain rotor speed under load, more margin before the system starts struggling. The S790 is a capable machine, but it's not built for the same workload as the CR10.90. And when you push it into that workload anyway, it shows. Here's the reality. Combines are not all equal. Brands are not interchangeable. Horsepower matters, design matters, engineering matters. You can't run a 542 horsepower single rotor machine at the same pace as a 790 horsepower twin rotor machine and expect the same results. The math doesn't work. The physics doesn't work. The owner learned that the hard way. He bought two Class 8 combines and assumed they'd perform the same. They didn't. One machine ran 850 hours and sold strong. The other ran 680 hours and got parted out. That's not bad luck. That's not a lemon. That's the difference between a machine that was built for the job and a machine that wasn't. Aftermath. The dealer who bought the New Holland CR10.90 sold it within 3 weeks. It went to a farmer in South Dakota running 4,100 acres. He paid $340,000. He's been running it since October 2022. As of fall 2024, the machine has over 2,400 hours. Still running clean, still under warranty until next spring. The Deere never ran again. The rotor sold on eBay for $18,000. The feeder house sold to a shop in Kansas for $9,200. The cleaning fan motor went to a farmer in Illinois for $3,400. The cab sold separately for $14,000. The rest of the machine was scrapped. Total parted out value, approximately $68,000. That's 14% of the original purchase price. The farmer who sold both machines walked away owing the bank $127,000 after the sale proceeds were applied. He refinanced his remaining debt and kept farming. He's still in Marion County, still running 3,200 acres. He runs one combine now, a 2023 New Holland CR1190, 850 horsepower, twin rotors. He bought it new in July 2023. It's got 680 hours on it as of this fall. No breakdowns, no warranty claims, no downtime. He says he'll never run anything else. September 14th, 2022. Two combines, same year, same field, same owner. One machine ran 1,850 hours and proved itself every season. The other ran 680 hours and spent more time in the shop than the field. One machine sold for $310,000 and went back to work the next month. The other sold for $255,000 and got stripped for parts. The auction didn't lie. The maintenance files didn't lie. The hour meters didn't lie. The New Holland CR1090 was the better machine. Not because of the paint, not because of the brand, because it worked, because it ran, because when harvest came, it was ready. That's what reliability looks like. That's what 790 horsepower and twin rotors and smart engineering gets you. The crowd at that auction knew it, the dealers knew it, the salvage buyer knew it, and now you know it too.